Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of Sketchicidal. Whoa!
The podcast, not the drawing.
The podcast, not the show. Parentheses.
We've done this. This is your third time, and you keep forgetting to specify that it's a podcast.
I'm sure when people watch it,
they'll know. I'm just saying that you're stupid.
All right, so this is the last episode of Sketchicidal. Anyway, we're joined with Mark and Julian. I am Julian. That's Mark.
What? Julian's in the corner. I remember you came into the room, and he was also in the room, and then you chloroformed Julian, and you cut his skin off and are now wearing it. It's really weird and concerning, but I'm just kind of going along with it.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. Julian is fine. I mean, I'm fine.
Julian's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So he'll give him his skin back after the show is over.
Oh my god, sure, yeah.
Anyway, strange shadow monster from the depths of my imagination. How are you doing?
Nice. I like that there is a trend of memes that were just like, oh, the strange shadowy creature that follows me around.
Strange shadowy creature asks me to a date. I say yes.
There's this one schizophrenic person that's going to see that meme and they're going to be like, oh yeah, I relate to that.
So relatable. There's this one meme where it's me and my friends all taking our meds, waiting to see which one disappears, and it's like a cowboy standoff.
Oh my god. Did you see that meme? It was a TikTok, and then this girl had like a really tiny claw machine, and she was like, "Oh, I made it more fun for my grandfather with Parkinson's to get his meds out of the tiny machine."
That's awful. That's so sad.
It's so awful.
I think I peaked the mic laughing.
I did too. Don't worry. I'm gonna put. Believe me, I know from recording me and you that I'm gonna have to put the compressor, the limiter, the noise remover, all of that stuff on, because I know that our recording quality is good, but we scream. Exactly.
Like
yeah. Anyway, so not too long ago, there was the trailer for the Mario movie.
For Chris Pratt's biopic.
Chris Pratt's biopic. Oh my god. Mark
used to be Italian.
The Italian. Mark, do you want to start
before the surgery?
Oh my fucking god. Do you want to start us off with any thoughts?
My biggest thought on it is that Bowser being cast as Jack Black, Jack Black being cast as Bowser is fucking perfect. It is
honestly
one of the best casting decisions I think I've seen in a while. It feels he's really good in the role too, from what we've seen. And he's just kind of perfect Bowser energy.
Yeah.
But Chris Pratt as Mario is one of the most baffling and terrible casting decisions I've ever seen.
So, and I think that a lot of people will agree with it, because I think Jack Black for Bowser is fantastic.
It's fucking perfect.
Chris Pratt for Mario is just, they want a big name to be in the credits.
Yeah, it is the most miscast, blatant, big celebrity thing I've ever seen. Same with, I guess in the new Garfield movie they're doing, Chris Pratt is also Garfield.
Oh my fucking god!
Did you not know that?
God! There are other people that exist!
And then Tom Holland plays Odie, I think.
Why? I like Tom Holland.
That was a joke.
Oh
the Chris Pratt thing is real. Tom Holland isn't.
Oh my god! I mean, all right. Believe me, I don't have a huge thing against Chris Pratt either. I thought he was funny in Parks and Rec, and I thought he was good in the Lego Movie.
Yeah. But he's not good for Mario or Garfield.
I think not even just that. It's just stop putting him in fucking everything. God.
He needs a paycheck.
It's just I know.
He makes more money in one movie than you'll make in your entire life. But he needs more
low
money.
Key. But it's just he plays, and he always plays the same character. He just plays freaking, I think his name was Andy in Parks and Rec. And he plays that character in everything. And I'm not saying it's a bad character, it's just the same shit.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
And he says it so, phoned in. So
stilted.
Yeah. God, man. And it's just, they just did it just to have a big name.
Yeah, Like, I still can't believe that they were smart enough to cast Jack Black as Bowser. Like,
Yeah.
clearly someone knew what they were doing, but then they also cast Chris Pratt. It's like,
That was
how do you,
I think-
how do you, like, create the greatest cake in the world and then, like, try to bake a cake and it comes out as, like a crisp thing, and as soon as you blow on it wrong, it, like, disappears into dust.
Oh my god, it was probably a producer decision.
Oh, definitely, no. It
honest.
definitely is. There's no way that, like... They're probably like, yeah, for Bowser, you could do whoever, but for Chris Pratt, for Mario, you gotta do a celebrity from the Marvels and the Jurassic Park and Lego movie.
I like the idea of them saying Chris Pratt before they even hired him for casting. It's like, yeah, Chris Pratt, I mean Mario.
Yeah. As we all know, if Mario were to take his face off, he would just be Chris Pratt.
Of course.
It's perfect casting.
But yeah, I think the rest of the casting is fine for the most part. I think
Something I thought was interesting was what they did with Toad, because
yeah.
I would not watch a movie where Toad sounds like Toad.
Yeah.
But I think what they did with Toad was kind of a really good interpretation of it for a full-length movie.
Yeah.
I think he sounds really great.
Yeah. I think that also like just the way that the movie looks is really good too.
Yeah, it doesn't look like an Illumination movie, which is fantastic because Illumination movies look like shit.
It's weird with Illumination because they're obviously skilled artists, but then it's like they get some guy to, like, you know, it's like, oh, just make a fucking blob and put eyes on it.
Mignon, take Grandpa's medication out of the claw machine and then put an eye on it. And that one is Bob.
Oh my god.
And the one with two eyes is Steve.
Yeah, it's just it's weird. I mean, it's obvious that
Like
Mario. I mean, Mario. I almost called the entire Nintendo company Mario. I think the Nintendo company is probably like they're influencing Illumination a lot, and I'm kind of glad of that because we've bashed Nintendo for their company policies and shit before, but when it comes to art direction, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, no, once again, like the company, the people, the higher ups who don't do the art are shit, but the actual artists and creators and coders and all those guys, the people making the cool shit are awesome.
Yeah, they're excellent.
The people skimming all the money off the top and doing nothing really aside from like press shit aren't.
Yeah.
Or like the CEOs are shit.
That's our TED Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Co-op.
we're not gonna go off again on capitalism, anti-capitalism, whatever. Because everyone hates capitalism, and if you think you like it, you don't actually know what capitalism is.
It's like I get being into BDSM, but not every form of abuse is BDSM.
Oh my god, that was a good one. I want that on a t-shirt with a bunch of different fonts on it. It's like, I get BDSM, but I hate it the way that Amazon fucks me in the ass.
Dude, I worked at Amazon for a few months and I quit because I could not stand it anymore. And so I worked for a third-party janitorial company.
Uh-huh.
And they would just like, you know, do the thing where they're like, hey, go clean shit or like sanitize for COVID. You know, that was what I was doing.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I didn't get the worst of it because I got to walk around, I got to move around. It was pretty lenient with my bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
You know? But everything else was so rigid and stagnant and like people who do jobs you could easily be sitting down at have to stand up and
yeah.
Like it's really just so shitty. The atmosphere there was so suffocating and so awful. And just knowing Amazon as a company, like already outside of even just that facility, it was just so bad and it was a suffocating environment and I couldn't handle it after a couple months. It was just too much and I quit.
And I can say the same thing about a lot of people I know.
Amazon is just the revolving door of employment.
It kind of is, and I think Amazon even knows that.
I hope one day they run out of people, so they actually have to become a better company.
Yeah.
They actually have to incorporate ethical standards.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I was in the break room one time. They were playing news coverage about the Amazon strike in Alabama, and I was like, I bet if someone was monitoring the news right now, they wouldn't have that running.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, like, Amazon's horrible. Fuck Amazon.
For real. Believe me, I do order from them more than I want to. Like, I don't actually want to give them this much money, but I mean, they're intentionally making it so they have like fucking everything, and then they have pretty cheap shipping or free shipping.
Yeah. Do you remember when Jeff Bezos went into space and he gave this really stupid self-hand job speech about it? And he's like, I have to thank the employees for paying for my stupid space trip.
That's crazy.
Billionaires, dude.
Yeah. All right, let's
hate them. Anyway, speaking of billionaires, I don't know. I don't have any.
Oh my God. Yeah, we should make sure that this isn't an anti-capitalism podcast.
I mean, it already is.
It low-key is. I mean, we're supposed
listen. Okay, we live under capitalism, and we know how shit it is because we live it.
Yeah.
So like, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I want to, at the very least, when I make actually, this will lead into our next idea, our subject.
All right.
Whenever I try to make a form of media, whether it's like me making a stream or making podcasts with you or making a video or whatever, I try not to bring up current events just because, like, from the content I consume, it's like I like it when they're only talking about the thing that they're doing. So whether it's just like an artist talking about their art or someone talking about a fucking Gundam that they bought, it's like they're not talking about like, oh, what's going on in Ukraine or what what other illegal thing Trump did. But it's like because I want some sort of escapism, just because it's like every time I check on Twitter, I don't get a lot of it in my feed, but a lot of times I see on Twitter, it's like, oh, trending today, or something.
Oh god, trending, dude. Okay, I'll let you finish your thing, but then I want to talk about one real world story that happened near me.
Okay, yeah, but
it's so funny.
Yeah, so my goal is to at least give some people an escapism, because I like talking about artwork, and I like talking about people's art and character art and media that we consume. And I like to focus on the positives because people are so negative.
Yeah, I'm right here.
And coming from a negative person myself, it's like I don't want more negative people, so I'm trying to be a little bit more positive.
I'm sorry.
Even if it's not saying that, you're not allowed to complain about your job. There are a lot of times where you've probably even heard me complain about my job before I quit.
Literally today we were talking about how shitty our jobs were.
Yeah,
so.
And the job market's awful, but I try not to focus on the negatives as much anymore.
So is the housing market.
That too.
Never mind. Sorry. Yeah.
But you were going to say something?
I'll stop. One real world event that's shitty but also hysterical.
Uh-huh.
In the good old state of Colorado, where I hail, we have the finest law enforcement officers in the country. I feel like most everyone knows about this story because it's so insane and so funny, but also so horrible.
Yeah.
You've probably heard about it, Julian.
I feel like I have, but I'm drawing a blank.
So the amazing law enforcement officers in Colorado pulled somebody over for, I think, like some kind of suspected road rage or something. They pulled a woman over for something.
Okay.
And they had her in their car, right? Because they had apprehended her or some shit.
Yeah.
And they decided to park the car on railroad tracks.
All right, then now I'm remembering this. Jesus.
Yeah, so they parked, Colorado's finest, parked their fucking car with a person inside of it on railroad tracks.
That's ridiculous.
And in the body cam footage, you can hear the train coming, you can see it honking. If you would just turned around, you'd be able to see the light in the distance. And you shouldn't even be on railroad tracks in the first place.
Yeah, there are signs all over the fucking place that say, don't fucking park here.
Like, you have to be an idiot to just chill on railroad tracks. And so, like, there's ample time for the cops to move the fucking car with the person inside of it. And they don't. And finally, like, as the train is about to hit, finally, the dumb fucking idiots have, like, their synapses actually fire. And they run away as the woman is trapped in the car, and the train fucking hits the car with the woman inside of it.
It's ridiculous.
Like, it's so... Like, you know the trope of the villains who... Like, a guy in a top hat tying a woman down to train tracks?
Yeah.
You know, revitalizing an old classic, if you would.
Oh my god, it's awful.
It's so fucked up, but it's so funny to the point where I feel like I have to talk about it. And the fact that it's, like, in my state.
Yeah.
She's alive, but she's really fucked up.
Alright, at least she's
alive. And the officer who did it got paid vacation.
Oh my fucking god, come on.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll punish you by paying you to not show up to work for a little bit.
Anyway.
Incredible.
Alright,
I'm so sorry.
At the sake of my sanity, let's go into a lighter subject.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Colorado's finest.
Yeah. It's so, yeah.
What's on your topic list? What do you got for us?
So I think we went through a bunch of them. Oh, so, well, I did that thing Disney Plus was doing a while ago where it's like, get a month of our subscription for like $2 or whatever.
Yeah.
So then I did that. And I started watching a few things. I talked in the last episode, I was talking about
She-Hulk,
She-Hulk and Deadpool. Another thing I watched was a Free Guy, which I can talk about too.
Oh yeah, another Chris Pratt. Wait, no, that was Deadpool's actor.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Who's also in a lot of movies. He's good. It's just like, you know, I'm tired of seeing him
Green
in
Lantern.
everything. Yeah. But
amazing Green Lantern movie.
So this is gonna throw you for a little bit of a loop. The thing that I've been binging on Google Plus, Disney Plus. Oh my god.
So many pluses.
Disney Plus is The Simpsons.
Oh.
And let me tell you, I started at like season 3. I think I'm on like season 5 now, maybe. Season 3 is peak, bro. It's
What about season 1?
Season 1, I've seen bits of it. It's not as funny. But it's like what in season 3 they just like, I guess maybe they got more writers, but there's like in every episode there's not a single missed opportunity. The pacing's fucking fantastic. And I say this like there's never like a missed opportunity. They always have like, if there's a space where they can put a joke in, they'll put a joke in it, and it will always work with the story, and it's never going to feel like a left field joke. The one thing I would say about a lot of like 90s shows is that sometimes their pacing is kind of gross. Where it's just like, oh, they didn't have enough script written for the dialogue, and it seems like they're not saying much a lot of the times. But in The Simpsons, it just seemed like there was always, timing was perfect. It's like, I don't think it was slow. I don't think it was too fast. I think everything worked in a great time. And so, all right, I don't want to directly compare Simpsons to Family Guy, because they're honestly two different things, as much as people want to say they're the same thing.
But Family Man and Homer Simpson fought each other.
I know.
They had big anime battle where they get big and strong.
Oh my god. But again, I don't want to compare the two, but in The Simpsons, all of the jokes worked in the story. In Family Guy, it's like the cutaway gags didn't always seem like they had anything to do with the story.
Wow. This reminds me of the time that I fought Homer Simpson.
Oh my god. That's another thing. They had they had a crossover episode with The Simpsons had a crossover episode with another '90s show, which was called The Critic. Maybe you've heard of it.
That.
You've
Yeah,
heard-
where it's like Doug Walker, right? And he says, "Why does it look like Vegas?" He says, "Like, why does it look like Vegas?" And then he talks to like a bunch of weird CGI animal furry porn characters.
That would be so funny, but that's not what I was talking about.
I would love an edit of that episode with The Critic where they edited Doug Walker into every Critic scene. They just like edit him over it and they like have him say shit.
Oh my god, that would be so funny. But no, the Critic was another animated comedy from the ¡90s. It was about a film critic that basically everyone hated.
Doug Walker.
Oh my god, I like Doug in some regards.
Shit.
Oh my god, I like some of the things that he does, and then I think some of the other things that he does are pretty awful.
I like watching him fail.
Oh my god,
I like the lore behind Doug Walker.
Oh my god. So anyway, the Critic TV show, it was this guy, and it's like every character in that show hated him because he would only say negative things about movies, and then he would say like, oh, action movies are like, bad, and he would always say that the pretentious French films were the best.
Yeah.
It was making fun of critics, basically.
So Nostalgia Critic.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
Lucky.
Nostalgia Critic isn't I don't know. I don't think he watches French films.
I don't know if he does.
I don't think so. I think he just watches The Wall and doesn't listen to any of it.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. The Wall review is one of the worst videos on YouTube.
We can talk
proportional to the effort.
We can talk about The Wall in a bit. I want to.
Okay. After you're done with The Critic, we'll talk about the other critic.
I want to talk about the TV show Critic first.
I'm sorry. The Nostalgia Critic jokes are very easy.
They're easy, but they're also justified and stuff. So it wasn't. The show didn't go on for long. It says I'm looking at Google right now, but it says there were like 2 seasons. I don't see how they could have done more. Of the Critic, because I think they just exhausted all of their ideas, and that's fine. I don't think shows need to go on forever, because if I think about The Simpsons, it's like there's some new episodes that I watch that are just so like, oh my god, please end it now.
End it, God, end it, please. There's a lot, like even like SpongeBob, like early SpongeBob was fucking great, and then you get House Fancy and Beyond, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Or like fucking Baby Squid.
Oh my god. And I like the idea of a show going on for that long because it's so popular, but it's just like the writers have nothing else to write about after a while.
There's One Piece, and that's it as far as shows that go on forever and are still good.
They probably also have like either really good writers or that just one guy is just insane enough to be able to write
the mangaka, like the original mangaka, which the anime draws from, is like, from everything I've seen, he's like a god Chad 3 billion IQ writer he's like so imaginative that he can just keep making the series fresh by just making it so fun and weird.
Yeah. Alright, so...
And like, I don't know, he's like planned ahead so much. There's so much shit to talk about in One Piece.
I'm sure it's possible. I think it's also different with like a sitcom versus a anime manga type of thing.
Yeah, One Piece is like, has a lot of internal politics to its world that makes it really interesting.
Yeah.
There's like so much to talk about with One Piece, but definitely a difference between the sitcom and an action show that goes on forever. So.
Yeah. So The Simpsons started in 1989.
Ugh.
And
I was born then. I am 80 years old.
Your math is little. Oh my god. And it says there were 730 episodes.
Damn. One Piece has over 1,000.
I know. But so I'm talking about like season 3 of The Simpsons, which was like 90 something going into 2000s. I think it started in 94. There are some jokes in there that were like, all right, this is a celebrity that was popular at the time that they're making fun of. But they did it well, is my point. But it's like something that, at my age, I may not have gotten the full joke of it. But the rest of the jokes, they all hold up perfectly. Like, it's aged fantastically.
I've never watched The Simpsons, but I don't know, sometimes a show has like so many memes that it's like there's probably something to this.
Honestly, like,
and I've seen some of clips from it, and they're pretty funny.
They're like some of my. They have some of the best gags that I like. They have literal throwaway gags that I remember to this day. That I just like saw once, and I was like, I cannot forget this. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen, and it was a throwaway gag.
That's respectable.
Yeah, I'll wrap up my point to this because I wanted to talk about. I do want to talk about the nostalgia critic, but last thing I'm gonna say.
I have one more thing, kind of regards to this as well. So finish your thing first.
Okay, so honestly, my favorite character is Marge. Because, oh my god, she's fucking fantastic. She's like... She's so, like... She's so kind-hearted. And then she just does, like, the nerdiest mom thing ever. And just embarrasses everyone. And it's great.
Aww.
And
yeah,
then
that's kind of sweet.
And she's, like, so considerate. It's awesome.
How many memes have you seen, like, in the show?
I saw this morning I was watching it and I saw that meme of like, you know how there's like a bunch of sheep and then one of the sheep walks in front of the other sheep and then
it's like,
get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that one. I saw that one. I didn't get to that episode where Marge is dancing yet, but I saw that episode. I saw that episode where Homer is like hovering over Bart in his bed and then Bart screams. I forget exactly what he says.
Bart, I don't want to alarm you. But
yeah, that's
something, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that was the one. But it's so funny seeing it in context because they were like as funny as the memes. Oh my god.
Yeah, One Piece, okay.
Yeah.
I think the reason One Piece is so consistently well done, and why like shows like SpongeBob or The Simpsons kind of stop being good after a bit.
Yeah.
Is because, because I think with most shows you expect to go on for a bit and then you kind of expect to stop after a bit, right?
Yeah.
With manga, the kind of point of it's really awful in like the Japanese industry where they kind of just like burn out. They just burn you out, basically. They like do your thing and if it's not profitable, fuck you. If it is profitable, we'll milk you until you die.
Yeah.
And so I think that the creator still wanted to make a story and publish it to a wide audience. So he kind of said, I will make this story have as much room for growth as possible intentionally.
Yeah. And that's...
So I think on purpose, he was like, I will make this very complicated. I will make it very big. And I won't limit it to what it can be.
Yeah. I think that's...
to what like it can and can't be. I'll let it evolve naturally over time. And that's... So he was like prepared for the long game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And I think that's the thing. Like The Simpsons, they thought they were gonna get canceled or stop so many times.
Yeah.
And I think it oddly enough, even though Simpsons had less episodes, I think Simpsons has been running longer than.
Yeah, One Piece has been around since 2000s, like 90s to 2000s. Simpsons is, you said the 80s?
89 to now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's definitely longer than One Piece.
Yeah.
One Piece was 90s at the earliest.
Yeah, but again, it was like... The Simpsons always had, like, a bit of a topical, like, social commentary, but it wasn't, like, obnoxious, and now it is.
You could appreciate the jokes without, like, the context. Like, to do topical humor well, you have to make it funny even without context, so it can become timeless. Yeah,
They bash on like capitalism in a funny way. They bash on the movie industry. There was this one episode I was watching. It was like, they were filming a superhero movie in Springfield.
Oh my gosh.
And then they were like, oh, our Millhouse, who was playing the sidekick, they were like, oh, he doesn't want to play the role anymore. And then Bart was over there. It's like, oh, you can cast me. And they were like, no, we'll just shut down the whole thing. Even though we put in $30 million.
Oh my god.
And then there was this ending part that was just like, well, guys, just remember, show business is always fantastic. Remember, Hollywood is a great place. And then there was just a shot of everyone being super happy in Hollywood and waving to each other. It's like, this is not what it's like there. Oh my god. But yeah, they have good social commentary that age as well.
You gotta be really good to make that shit funny, even after, like, it's not relevant, or even if it is relevant. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it.
Sometimes you can make a timeless critique.
Yeah.
I guess, or like a more longevity-based critique that'll last longer.
And I feel like a lot of what I was watching is like these were all pretty current events.
Damn.
Like, yeah, yeah. But again, I can only speak so much for the newer episodes because I haven't seen many of them, and the ones I have seen I wasn't very fond of.
Yeah, I'm going off of like what people say, so
yeah.
Don't take anything.
I mean, if you care enough, I would recommend watching the older seasons because there's some. It's like my favorite kind of humor where it's just like intentionally stupid people written by very smart people. Because I know people bring it up all the times, but I think like the writers all have PhDs and they're extremely smart people, but then they can write stupid characters flawlessly.
Yeah.
And they just have perfect timing and perfect jokes, and there's never a missed opportunity. Yeah. So anyway, nostalgia critic.
We were talking about amazing, great writers, and then we got to the nostalgia critic. Oh no!
So I wanna give my 2 cents about Doug Walker.
The funny man.
There was, I think it was like 2 years ago or so. I was like watching his stuff on YouTube. And a quick disclaimer: usually when I watch stuff on YouTube, it's usually because I'm doing something else, like I'll be drawing or playing a video game. I rarely sit down and watch just YouTube. Sometimes I do it. It's very rare now. So I was just watching, like, I was just binging Doug Walker and his reviews. And a lot of them were pretty entertaining. And then there were occasionally times where he would just critique something that just didn't seem like it was, like, a valid thing to critique. I mean, art is subjective. Critiquing is subjective. There's no objective way to critique. There's a way that may seem more objective than another, but never 100%, in my opinion, at least. But then it's just like, he would say things are bad just because he doesn't get a joke.
It does happen sometimes.
And, like, there's some jokes in that I was watching him, and he would say, like, you know, this part is bad because I don't get the joke. And then he plays the joke, and then I laugh hysterically at it just because it's one of those jokes where it's like, it's not meant to have a cut and dry, like, punchline. It's just supposed to be a weird situation.
A bad credit card.
And then I know it's like dated to say this, like, but the Wall review is like, oh my god.
The Wall, like, okay, remember how we were talking about, like, The Simpsons being timelessly funny?
Yeah.
The Wall is timelessly horrible.
Yeah, it's...
The Wall is, like, impressively bad. In, like, every way a highly produced YouTube video can be bad. I would wager, in my opinion, that comparative to its scope, I would say it's the worst video on YouTube. And there are worse things on the internet. Like there's like ISIS beheadings and like, you know, I mean, there's like horrible shit on the internet, but like comparative to its budget and like the amount of effort that clearly went into it, but also the sheer lack of effort.
Yeah.
in every aspect. It's so weird because clearly it feels like there should be passion behind it because of how big and long it is and how many effects are used.
Yeah.
But it's so lazy. It's like it's a contradiction. It's like it's a contradiction in of itself. Clearly has effort in it, but like there's no effort in it. And then you feel like, okay, if someone's gonna make parodies of an album and review it, they're clearly passionate about the album. And then like, I think at the end of the review, Doug Walker's like, I liked it fine. It wasn't really my thing. It was okay though. After like just having some of the worst criticisms imaginable about it, where he just did not understand what he was watching or what he was listening to. And then like so many of the song parodies in it were just like he's complaining about something completely irrelevant. It was like cancel culture and like Twitter and shit. It's like, what are you... And it's like, the walking hammers are phones now. And it's like, cancel.
And
hashtag. It's,
And I know the wall, I'm sure there was like a lot of commentary that I didn't get. And another disclaimer, I haven't listened to the entire Wall album or watched the original movie. I don't know why. Why do I look up Twitter stuff when I hear like just see the stupidest shit? I'm just on Twitter. Like I shouldn't be right now. Anyway. It's like I don't know. Again, I don't think there's a better way to describe it. It's just like high production with no care in some portions.
On all the portions. Oh, and then the fucking animated segment at the end. Ugh.
With the monsters?
Yeah, the clearly NSFW furry sex model monsters.
So the funny thing is, I think that person has interacted with me in some regard.
Oh, well, yeah, they were in the Bionicle community.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, they have this, like, really awful script for, like, a shitty Bionicle fan film where, like, they have the Bionicle and Hero Factory thing is, like, a different species, even though Bionicle isn't a species.
Yeah, it's... I didn't get that. I mean, whatever. It's like, shout out to anyone who wants to, you know, make your own animated movie. I don't... Honestly, even if it's shit... more power to you for trying to do something independently like that. The products of your labor, that's a different story. That can be criticized completely differently. But yeah, that part in the Wall review, it was just like, it's like I wasn't even thinking about, you know, it was like Doug Walker was just talking about like, oh, there are a bunch of weird creatures in this. And then the fucking rat boy, whatever thing, the they-them rat monster comes in. And it's like, well, don't you see how cool monsters are? And he's like, what? And then they start singing and dancing.
Also, I'm watching a video by Fenna, and there's, like, this monster with her tits out. Like, it's just, like... It is just like a Naga fetish thing.
You should send that to me for later.
Yeah.
Or
no,
just...
it's not hot.
No.
Also, like I feel like Finna puts like too much like fur and physics into his characters, and they just kind of look cluttered.
That's also like, you know, you learn like from 3D artwork.
It's too much physics, I think.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you have a new feature and you're like, oh, I want to use this on everything.
Yeah.
Or if you know like the minimal amount of it, then you don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, it's
I'm not defending if it
Fenna's wacky fella.
Yeah, the hair is a little bit much. From my minimal experience of using physics in Blender, it's really hard to get that shit dialed in correctly. I think the character looks alright. They're obviously a very capable 3D artist.
Yeah.
So definitely, believe me, I can appreciate a 3D artist because I'm trying to learn ZBrush and fuck that shit. I swear to God, I want to kill myself every 3 seconds of it. It's like, I swear, I open up the software. Opening up the software makes me want to kill myself. And then when I open it up, and then I put in the circle, and then I sit I click all the right buttons, and then the fucking symmetry tool doesn't fucking work, and then I want to kill myself. Anyway.
I've tried to do Blender, and my brain exploded.
Blender is
and then I accidentally turned a circle into a Pringle.
Awesome.
I don't even know how I did that. I just fucked around with it and it just became a Pringle.
I can say that I can use Blender enough that, like, I can do kit bashes or I can make a pretty simple 3D model. I don't want to... Guys, don't commission me yet for Blender stuff, alright? I'm not that good. As much as I want to be, I'm not that good. I know my way around it enough. Not everything, but I know enough. But it's like, you could learn Blender. A lot of people could learn Blender. It's difficult, but it's learnable. ZBrush is like, you watch the tutorial, you do exactly what they do in the tutorial, and then it just like flips you off. And it's like, haha, you suck, bitch. Suck my dick. Which sucks because I really want to use it. I see all these artists using ZBrush and it's like, hey, just a quick little thing I did. And it's like the most amazing fucking shit ever. And then it's like, oh, you can 3D print this model if you just, give me $100. And then it's like the price is justified. Anyway, so this artist, Finna. Again, I think this character design is fine. It's a little over the top, but it's, you're allowed to do over the top character designs. It's fine.
Yeah. On one hand, I respect it. On the other, I just don't like it that much.
It does seem like there's a little hint of horny in it, and again,
a hint.
All right, there's a huge emphasis. All right. And
someone drew Chainsaw Man as a capybara. That's amazing.
Nice. And I'm not against like a character being horny, but it's just like when there's like, I don't know, it's like if you have a good character design and then you're like, oh, let me give it a fucking a 5-foot long cock for no reason. It's like, you're allowed to. I don't want to kink shame at all. People can draw whatever they want as long as it's legal.
I will.
But like, I don't see the need to put a fucking 5-foot cock on this perfectly good character design.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't know. Just that whole segment of that video was just horrible.
It was just so weird. It was just so weird and slightly out of place, and I don't get it. I think maybe it was like Doug was like, "Oh, I want this person to be in my video," and then they couldn't really think of the best way to put it in.
Well, at the end of the wall, like video, like the actual movie, the animated thing, there's a segment called The Trial where all of the main characters, like past relationships and his own like insecurities and his own issues come back, and like they put him on trial, and they're all like in the forms of horrible monsters. So I think Doug was like, I'm making a terrible parody. I mean, I'm making a parody album, and I'm gonna do the video, so I should get a guy who can animate monsters to do this video. And then he's like, this Finna fellow can animate monsters, sure.
Yeah, and again, they're an extremely capable animator, modeler, but it just didn't seem like it worked well in the context, or the writing wasn't good or something.
Well, I mean, the writing was terrible.
I'm trying to, be.
I don't want to.
Nice. All right, you're allowed to be the asshole.
Listen.
Oh,
I think it's bad when people shit on the floor, and I think it's bad when people shit into the internet and call it a review.
Oh my god! No, the entire wall review. I can say that it was not. It's not good.
Let's watch it right now. Let's do a wall watch party.
I don't think I can watch it again. Oh my god.
That's very understandable. I like this image you sent of a vibrator microphone.
You're welcome. Yeah.
regardless, I don't know. Doug Walker is just... I used to like him when I was younger, and then I became, like, 15. And then I was like, oh, wait, this is not good content.
It's like, but to me, it's like sometimes it is, and then sometimes it's like when it's like it's good, and then sometimes he says something that just fucking kills it.
Well, it's because I think it's like his whole character thing. He's gotta be negative. He's gotta, like, find a thing to critique everywhere, you know?
Yeah, I guess that could be it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know that he was, like, really sick of the character, and so in one of the terrible movies he killed off the nostalgia critic canonically. And then he made a new show called, like, Demo Reel, where it was about the concept of critique, and there's some interesting stuff in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But then people hated it, and then eventually he brought back the nostalgia critic through the thing where, like, it was weird.
Also, that's another thing we can talk about is the idea of making a persona for a show or a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's probably not actually like that.
No, of course not.
And I don't, and sometimes people think that, you know, the way that you act in videos is how you actually act in real life.
Yeah. I've seen a couple, like, clips of interviews with Doug, and he seems like a fine person to talk to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It is definitely like an internet persona thing.
Yeah. And
online, I'm just a big shark.
I think internet personas are kind of weird because, like, YouTube is so, like, it's lowbrow and highbrow at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, if you're making this full production and then you have a persona, you're probably like that, right? And it's like, not really.
Yeah. Well, it's like the lowbrow highbrow thing you said is because most anybody can make a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And so you get people who are, like, just kind of, like, creative geniuses on their own doing their own thing, and then you also get people who are just kind of hacks.
Yeah.
Like Doug.
Oh my god. I don't think he's that bad.
I don't know. He tries a little bit, but then
he could try harder because I've heard people saying that he doesn't actually do that much research.
That I can see that. He just wants to make a funny video where he says, "A bad credit card."
Yeah, and also,
and then he says, like, "Why does it look like this?"
And also, of course, like, you know, Nostalgia Critic is like, you watch that for entertainment. I don't think you should watch it for, like, a legitimate film critique because, I mean, maybe if he is, like, a film major like me,
oh my goodness, how very snobby.
I would still, like, if I'm actually looking for a film critique, I would want one from an actual director or someone
whose opinions are measured and they aren't trying to play a character.
Yeah. And again, nothing wrong with playing a character. It's just kind of...
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it. You gotta find the balance between, like, being truthful and being funny, or, like, being a character. You can't, like... I see people sometimes using their character as an excuse for bad content.
Yeah, that's...
We're like, oh, have you... Okay, there's, like, this weird thing. It was a long time ago, but with, like, CinemaSins, where they're like, don't take our stuff seriously. And then they also want you to take their stuff seriously.
Yeah.
But then, like, they'll go, like... They're, like, Schrodinger's, YouTube persona. Where they'd go, like, well, we're just kidding. This is, like, you know, it's the point of CinemaSins. It's to only do that. But then they try to pass it off as, like, real criticism and shit.
Yeah.
It's just about trying to find a balance. Like, I want to play this character.
Yeah.
And also, I think if you want to like play a character who makes fun of bad movies, don't have them review a good piece of media. Like, you got to choose your target.
That's,
you know?
fair. I mean, he's talked about movies that he likes, but it's very sparse when he does, though, which is kind of like, I get it. You watch a bad movie because it's better content, because everyone likes making fun of a shitty movie. Like, no one doesn't like that. And believe me, I like it too. I like it when, you know, JonTron does. I mean,
not JonTron. Oh, don't say JonTron.
Oh my god, JonTron did reviews of movies, right? Yeah, he did.
No, he did, but JonTron's kind of awful as a person. So
I don't know how true that is.
He's made, like, a lot of anti-COVID denial. He's, like, made a lot of COVID denial shit.
Okay,
He like took a lot of articles out of context, and like one article was about a disease that was like 10 years ago that wasn't even COVID. JonTron just kind of a shitty person, so don't.
John.
As much as I love old JonTron content, it's like ooh.
His new content is also really good, but it's like come on, why as a person do you have to be like
it's
that?
Weird too, because like at least when I used to watch him, so much of his content was his jokes were so contained and they weren't like commentary really. Like commentary and stuff was minimal. It'd always be about the thing he was talking about. It was also innocent, you know.
Yeah, that's so annoying because it's like I mean I don't. It's
this weird thing where he was like straight up quoting 1350 type shit. So yeah, it's just ooh.
Like, you know, I know being a YouTuber is not the easiest job, and it can be very draining.
It broke his brain. He became a Nazi.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah, okay, separate. Okay, what about JonTron though? Outside of the awful shit he's done.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, all of the videos I watched of his, I've had a good time, and I remember them afterwards. And his critiques are like, it's like, it's definitely you're watching it because you want to make fun of a thing. You're not like you're not looking for a critique from JonTron.
Well, I kind of was, but I also kind of knew to take it with like a grain. I was mainly there for comedy when I would watch his stuff, like the D&D movie he critiqued that was like a Chick Track adaptation.
Oh yeah,
that was fucking funny. That was a good video, but yeah, or like he was criticizing it for sure, but you know, it was mainly there for the video itself being funny.
Yeah.
Using the content as a springboard.
Yeah. Moral of the story, guys, just like if you become famous, don't become an asshole, okay?
If you become famous, don't start being racist and denying that COVID exists or some shit.
It's like it's just
don't do it.
It's like I know. I mean, I know there are people that like are misguided, but just please, just be nice. Be a little nicer. Boy. Be a little nicer.
Be a sweet boy to me, please.
Oh my god, I know. I low-key want to bring up just.
Did Jacques die? The bird?
I don't know.
I hadn't seen him in any of the stuff I watched.
Oh, I hope not.
That'd be sad.
I also wanted to point out PewDiePie real quick.
Oh no.
Just him as a whole. It's like, you know, who didn't watch him as a kid? Like, if you're my age.
I actually didn't watch him as a kid, but then I started watching him when he did Minecraft shit a few years ago.
Oh my god. Well, alright, pretty much, if you've been on the internet, you've probably watched at least one of his episodes. Episode.
He was in South Park.
He was? Oh my god.
Yeah, the little Canadian child was watching PewDiePie videos.
Yeah. Alright, my point is, like, I don't think PewDiePie is that awful of a person, but I think he's really stupid.
I haven't been paying attention to, like, anything he said. I just remember the bridge incident, that being really funny.
That is really funny.
Like, he had the fucking cat phone headphones, like, the cat earphone, cat ear headphones on. That shit was great. That was so funny. Just like this, just the fact that that's the word that he chose in all of his lexicon.
First thing in his mind.
Bastard, cunt, asshole. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna pull out the fucking nuclear option.
Yeah, but no, I don't think he's that bad of a person. I think he's just like he doesn't think as much as he should.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched him in so long, so I haven't kept up with like anything around him. So I don't know.
And who knows? Maybe he did something awful that I didn't know. But I want to give people the benefit of the doubt that you're actually better than.
Well, I'm just thinking of the funny when he was on the bridge, and I just think it's funny.
It was funny, not in a
very funny,
not in a good way, but it was funny.
It's funny as in like an oh.
Oh,
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't ready for that.
Oh, you know what I hate so much.
What do you hate?
I didn't want to keep on the negative YouTuber subject, but you know, Cryotic.
Yeah, the Dream 1.0.
But I mean, did you hear sort of like what happened with him?
It was like grooming or something.
It was kind of like that. It's
I really didn't. The only thing I know of Cryotic was like a PewDiePie animated video where they were both playing Portal. That's like literally it.
Yeah, but that whole like grooming situation is very like confusing because it's like he was vague about coming out about it, and then all of his friends were super vague and didn't know what was going on. So it's like, but it's not looking good for him, is what I'm saying.
I've heard that like Dream groomed someone too, but I don't know if that's like true or not.
Well, I also just don't like Dream at all. So
if it is true, it would be funny that two masked YouTubers in a green hoodie have done the grooming.
Yeah.
But that would be funny, but also really sad.
Yeah, but
so I hope there was no grooming because that would. I feel like no grooming is better than grooming as far as the well-being of people are a
person that's a jerk that didn't groom someone is a lot better than anyone that
groomed. A groomer.
Yeah.
But if they did groom, then I hope a meteor strikes them on the noggin and goes bonk.
I think that's fair.
There's in JoJo Part 6, there's a stand battle where a guy can just pull meteors out of the atmosphere and like shoot them at people.
Oh, we should talk about JoJo the next.
Yeah. Well, we still have time. We can talk.
Well, it's been almost an hour, and I want to finish my Cryotic thing.
Oh, okay, Cryotic, continue.
Yeah, so Cryotic was like one of the first YouTubers I watched, and oh my god, he was like so nice in his videos. He was so funny. He was so calm and charming, and I was like, all right, I want to, I would chill out with this guy.
That's how they get you.
And then I hear him streaming, and then, when he did talk about political things, I usually agreed with him because he was very, like, inclusive and trying to be polite with everyone. And then something came out about him possibly grooming someone.
Ooh.
And then he made an apology that was super vague. And then I don't think he's done anything since. And it's just like, can just like one of my YouTubers not be an asshole?
I remember the first YouTuber I remember watching was like this Minecraft YouTuber named Beijing Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely know nothing about them like as a person, so maybe Beijing Canadian is like committed an act of terror or some shit, or like he's like or he's like a totally fine person. I genuinely have no clue. So me just bringing him up might be like something horrible. I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Oh no. Beijing Canadian, Oklahoma City bomb.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
I feel like if I just look at his Twitter, they'll answer my question or not.
I watched so many of his Hunger Games videos.
I mean, it doesn't look like he's done anything. I didn't immediately see controversies when I Googled him, so he might be okay.
Maybe. He had like a Chewbacca friend or some shit.
What's wrong with having a Chewbacca friend?
Ripping off Han Solo.
So, alright, so Han Solo is the only one that can talk to hairy monsters?
Yeah.
Wow, fuck you.
Yeah, Han Solo copyrighted it.
Oh my god.
He's had that
copyrighted it, not George Lucas.
No, Han Solo has had that copyright for a long time. He copyrighted in a galaxy long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. He's had that a long time.
Oh my god.
It says it in the Star Wars.
Jesus.
Oh shit, Germa's trending. I wonder who's he groomed.
Oh my god. Germa seems like he's alright. He was talking about leaving Twitch. Because of Twitch's like shitty like policies and Twitch as a whole.
Yeah, I've never heard anything bad about Germa.
Yeah,
outside of the horrific crimes he's committed, but like that's
the horrific crimes.
Horrible murders that have the bodies have yet to be found, so he hasn't been prosecuted yet.
Oh my god.
He ate a bird live on stream. It was really fucked up.
Ate a bird live on stream.
I do genuinely love like how the community, like, you know how like a lot of communities are like, oh, they're the best person ever. This creator is so great. Jerma's community is like, he is a serial killer with unknown amounts of crimes. He's a monster.
Funny. Yeah, that explains why people say that I'm like Jerma. No.
Ah, I see.
That was the worst comparison ever to make.
I'm watching him eat a bird. It's really funny.
Oh my god. I don't watch Jerma that much, but every clip I've seen of him has been funny. Him, just like the way he acts is just funny. There's some people that just like, they act funny.
Me and some friends were watching this edit of the Truman Show. On like fucking Daily Motion or some shit, because it got taken down from YouTube.
Oh my god.
But it's like an edit of the Truman Show where Truman is covered by Jerma clips.
Oh my god.
It is so fucking funny. It's so funny. And what's even better is that one of my friends had never seen the Truman Show before. So he was so confused by everything because it's just Jerma.
That's funny.
It's so good.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Even recording, I think Jerma might be a good note to end on.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, even a better note to end it on.
What?
Never mind.
You do. Just like, wait, I got one more thing to say. What is it? Nah, never mind.
I was gonna be like, guys, I got a lot of Bionicle recently.
You can talk a bit about... Actually, you know, I low-key want to do that in the next episode because I can talk about my obsession with Beyblades.
Next episode, we just talk about toys we like. How about that? I'm ready to go again. 1 more hour today, baby. Let's record 4 episodes of the podcast.
Oh my god, I'm okay with that, honestly.
I am ready. I'm so down to talk about Bionicle and like Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh and toys that we had.
Oh my god. All right, let's stuff this recording.
Yeah, you guys all have a lovely day whenever you watch this, and lovely days after.
And remember, guys, if you ever get famous as a YouTuber, we're gonna hold it against you if you start grooming people.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Actually, you know what? You know what? It doesn't matter if you're a YouTuber or not. If you're grooming, kids, we don't like you. I don't.
Wow, Julian, that's such a controversial statement. All of the Genshin Impact fans are gonna be so mad at you.
Oh my god!
That's a joke. I have a friend who's into Genshin. That's a joke.
Oh
I'm joking.
God. All right, thank you guys for watching this or listening to the Sketchicidal podcast number 3. And then we'll have another one soon at some point.
Yeah, we're gonna record it right after.
Possibly.